Okay, we need to do a bag dump here. Alright. It's a Zordals. It's a Zordals. Okay, let's vendor and repair. Tell you, the vendor trash is really starting to add up a bit here. Alright. Got that taken care of. Let me do my buffs. Because they're part of my spellbook, so I'm allowed to use them. Alright. Oh, I'm under 600, but I'm sure we'll hit 600 soon enough. Okay. Now. We need a mount. We got our buffs. We vendored. We repaired. Alright, let's do this. So, for those that don't know me all that well, I'm Nisey. I'm one of the chat mods for WoW Challenges, Discord, and Twitch. I also help out a little bit on the social media end of things for Stone and Lita. I play mostly the Bloodthirsty Challenge. I dabble in a couple of the other ones, but this one's more my jam. So, I'm leveling one of every class. And a couple duplicates on the side. Yeah, so today we're on my oldest challenger, or at least currently we're on my oldest challenger. This is my Ret Paladin Soul Shield. This one's been around since Warlords. So she's kind of my baby. There was a lot of idle time on her where I wasn't actually playing this one. This one sat for a little while before I picked her up again. So her finish time, if she ever makes it to max, will be very interesting to see. Because I have a feeling it's going to be very, very long. Alright. Sorry, I wanted to grab him because I know he's worth 2,000 and I don't always catch him. And even though he looks scary, he's a fairly easy kill. Alright, and since most of the kills that we will be going for here on out are going to be a bit less than what that was, it was a good time to grab him. Alright, so I like to hang out over here. I found this to be a safer location compared to some of the others in Shadow Moon Valley. I'm up in Sarah's, I guess is how we're pronouncing that. Sarah's Vale. Now, granted, these wolves are only giving me 700 XP. However, they're lootable, so I am getting vendor trash and the occasional green drop from them to try to get gear upgrades. Because some of the critters in my grinding loop do not drop gear, or do not drop anything, excuse me. Which is kind of disappointing, but at the same time, I know I can survive killing it. So it's kind of, which is the lesser of two evils, and I'd rather stay alive. So we're gonna hang out over here and just cope with some of the mobs not dropping stuff, and me frustratingly continually trying to loot them, even though I should know by now that particular mob's not gonna give me dick. So I try to get the wolves up in this section, and then we're gonna venture up the road just a tick. And we're gonna visit some spore bat critters. And the spore bats are gonna end up giving us a little bit more XP than the wolves for some reason. I'm not entirely sure why, probably because they have more health, maybe? Than the wolves. I don't know. The wolf health isn't too bad. It's just under 4,000, which is definitely less health than I have. So that's a welcome sight. When a lot of time stuff has had way more health than me. So hey, you know, that's fine. It's a nice little little breather here. So when I first got out here, it was pretty scary. In fact, we're on this area of wolves because on the other side of Imbari village, where there's a whole bunch of them, there's a pack of 3 or 4 that runs around. And they almost ate me entirely, and that was almost the end of our run right there. I wasn't even out here like an hour. So that was pretty scary. But we're figuring this out, and you know, we'll get there. One level at a time. We're level 91 currently, marching towards... Okay, I thought he was going to attack me, but he decided not to. We're level 91, marching towards 92. I think I'll be able to enter Legion zones at 98, I believe. I have to double check on quests allowed. I think I'm allowed to do the moving of Darlaran to get out there. That might be all I'm allowed to do, or maybe I have to skip it. I have to go back and look at the quests allowed, because the only challenger that I've had make it to Legion thus far has been my Demon Hunter. And part of her leveling process allowed that quest. So I think there's a skip, but that might have to, you might have to do that to get to the skip. I'm not sure. Like I said, I've got to go back and refresh on that particular section of the rules. Although on this one it doesn't matter quite so much because this is an old character, so she's grandfathered in under the old quest rules, but I still am trying to avoid quests at all cost. Just because I don't want to do something silly and forget when I'm on a newer character that's not under the older rules and fuck up. Because that would really suck. Be my own worst enemy in this case. So we're trying not to have that happen. Yeah, so these guys are giving us, these guys are varying between 1,000 and 932. And that's just because of what level they are to me. The higher amounts of XP are going to be the mobs that are my level at 91. And the lower amounts are going to be below my current level. And this challenge is definitely not for someone that is looking for instant leveling gratification. That's not going to happen. This is a slow grind forward. You cannot run in and Leroy Jenkins your way through this. It's probably not going to go well for you if you do that constantly. Somewhere along the line something's going to go wrong. So you want to be paying attention to what you're doing, how you're approaching things. Totally thought I was about to DC there. What the hell's going on? That was not cool. What was that about? Okay. My latency is pretty good. Alright. Don't know what was up with that. Everything else seems to be okay. Let's pop a heal here. Maybe that was a temporary hiccup. Hey, Flight, how's it going? It's going okay so far. I didn't like the weird little internet hiccup I just had. That was slightly terrifying. But things look okay now, so we're gonna keep moving forward here. Latency looks okay. Frame rate's dropped a little bit, but my frame rate seems to fluctuate along with everybody else since 8.0 dropped. I seem to be anywhere from 29 to 100, depending on where I'm at. And that's okay, because I've rated on 29 to 30 before and been fine, so I'm kind of used to that. Yeah, but I'm not noticing it that much. I'm more worried about my latency than my frame rate, honestly. My latency is pretty good. It's not as good as it was on the other internet provider that we had switched to for a while, because that was all we could afford. But we got pissed off when we went to talk to them. I think within the last month, we're like, hey, do you guys have an estimate on when we're getting the fiber available to us? You know, we see they're putting cables in our street, finally. And the lady in the office said she didn't know exactly, and she was able to talk to one of the guys, I think, that was actually on the technical end of things, or laying the cables or whatnot. And they're like, oh yeah, well, they're on stage 3 and you're in stage 5, so probably not till sometime next year. And we're like, what? It's like, when we signed up for this, you guys told us that we were gonna have it within the year, and now you're telling us not till sometime next year? And we've got 4 people in this house utilizing the internet now, and 10 up, 1 down was not gonna work for very long. So we're like, yeah, no, sorry, we're going back to our old provider now that we can afford to be on them again. Not waiting for the fiber now. If they end up getting the fiber back and it's going to be cheaper, we might end up switching back to them at a later time, but it's like, yeah, no. No thanks. Yeah, these stupid trees keep getting in the way. Like, I can't play how zoomed out I want to be, because if I do that, then all these trees are blocking my view. Like, I've been in Stormwind and had 100 frames per second at times, so I'm not really sure what's with the weird frame rates, but, you know, whatever. It's working. I know I'm gonna need a new graphics card at some point. Don't know when. Because the husband also might need a new graphics card. I think his is older than mine. But, you know, we're making it work. I don't think I've ever played this game higher than the graphics setting I'm currently on. I'm currently on in a customized level 5 with some options turned way down. And at one point I was playing on a 2 on the customizable level, so hey, I'll take what I can get, but oh, I'm not sure what my GPU is. Husband ordered my computer, and I'm like, I can play WoW on it, right? He goes, yeah. I said, I can stream on this, right? He's like, yes. And I was like, okay, good. That's the extent of my knowledge. I know I have an i7 processor, but that's about it. My old one was on one of the first i5s that came out, and that was not strong enough to stream, so we had to upgrade to a 7 last year. Right now my biggest battle is my mouse. I have a piece of animal fur, one thin strand, under the plastic lens in my mouse, and I can't figure out how to get it out. So every so often my mouse does a weird jitter, and I know that's what's causing it because I've dealt with the hair in the mouse for quite some time. Stop trying to loot this shit, it doesn't drop anything. So I know what it is because I've dealt with it before. Usually it's on top of the lens or to the side of the lens and I can dig it out. This one's actually under the plastic of the lens, and I'm like, how do I get you out of there? We've tried water, or not water, we've tried air, I've tried Q-tips, I've tried tissue rolled up into a point. I just cannot get a hold of it to get it out of there. So it's like, yeah, I don't know. I guess it's just gonna have to stay there. Sometimes if we get the can of air and blow it a couple times, we can get it at least off the lens mirrors in there, so it's not being a problem. I switched mouse pads. I have noticed since switching mouse pads, I'm not having as much buildup in there. When I went back to the fabric pad instead of the shiny one. But I'm still getting some in there. But cat hair, dog hair. Yeah, my old i5 was old. It was one of the first i5 processors that came out. And that combination with the graphics card I had, it was getting to the point where when I was trying to play, I'd cast a spell or hit an ability, and there was enough of a noticeable delay. Like, it might have been a half second, but it was noticeable enough to me that every time I went to attack something, I never knew if I was about to DC or not. It was that kind of hang time where just for a split second it's like, am I DCing or is the spell gonna go through? And that was really irritating because I didn't know. And I would chug in Stormwind and Darlaran unless I was on like the lowest graphic settings possible. So now I'm doing a bit better. But I had to upgrade to the 7 so that I could stream. I mean, I could have gotten a higher end 5, but at that point I'm like, if I'm gonna spend the money, I might as well just get a 7 and be done with it and have it for a while. So that's what we had decided to do. Got some kind of HP 7 processor, whatever stuff. It runs WoW and a couple other things. That's about all I can tell you. I'm not that tech savvy. When something goes wrong, I'm like, husband, fix it. He's tried to teach me to fix stuff sometimes on my own. And sometimes I can figure it out, and other times I'm like, what did you say I had to do again? And then I end up annoying the shit out of him because I have trouble remembering stuff. And he's like, I'll just do it. And I'm like, okay. If you want. I'm cool with that. Just don't get mad when I'm like, it's not working. Yeah, so I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm gonna play this card till it doesn't want to function anymore. Most likely. Because we've got some big expenditures coming up. We're going away on a half family vacation coming up in October to kind of try to de-stress a little bit, and we're taking the dogs with us. My dad didn't want to go with us, so it's going to be me, my husband, the 2 dogs, and my mother-in-law. She's paying for the trip, so we're like, yeah, you want to come? Because it feels weird for you to be giving us this much money and not go. And so she did want to go, so we're like, okay. So we're going to take turns where this day, you know, we're going to rotate who's hanging with the dogs so that we don't get in trouble at the vacation rental for them causing a fuss. Because the one tends to get a little howly in new areas when he's alone, and we don't want him to get us kicked out of the vacation rental for making too much noise. And I could have left them here, but my dad's not that stable on his feet sometimes, and I didn't want to put him in charge of taking them out and have them trip him because they're tiny and get underfoot and get stubborn sometimes. So. But we've got, just pick her up. Sorry, there's animal feeding going on. or the hunting of animals to feed them. Half of them are scattered in here. She's being weird. Just pick her up. She's a very timid cat. Especially when one of our other cats has been causing her grief constantly for the past month. But anyhow, so the dogs are coming with us because I didn't want to put that on my dad, and it was bad enough he was going to have the cats to deal with while we were gone. And our neighbor was going to check in on him and take him to the store and stuff when he needed to, and help him out with the cats and the litter boxes and stuff. However, we just found out that she had been having some back trouble and she went to the doctors. Well, she has a cyst in her back that has to be removed, and she's having surgery on Monday, and they said that it could take a couple of months for her to recover, and she was terrified because they told her, you know, if you're going to be more susceptible to an injury while this is healing, and you know, if you fall, you could injure yourself, or you know, you could like die if you fall because of where they have to do the surgery or something. And so she was scared to death because her one dog, or her dog, sometimes trips her, and she's like, oh my god, what am I going to do with the dog while I'm healing, because I can't fall for like a month. And she's like, I don't want to have to put the dog down. And we're like, no, don't put the dog down. Do not put that dog down. The dog's like 12, 13 years old. We're like, no. Like, we will watch the dog for you. At least up until we have to go, if it comes to it. So we're gonna watch her. I think we're watching her dog. We told her we would if she wanted us to. We haven't heard back yet. She thanked us, but she hasn't definitely said if we are fully watching her yet. But she was just so upset. We're like, no. It's like, if you can't find anybody to watch the dog for a month, we will take the dog. We're right next door. She can visit. And we love that dog, and that dog likes us, so we're constantly watching the dog for her at her house. This will be the first time we've brought her over here with our boys, but it's okay. We have pet gates. If we need to sequester dogs away from each other, we will figure it out. It'll be okay. No reason to get that upset when we can figure out something. Alright, so let's see. Let's go this way. So, I mean, the XP through here hasn't been too bad. It's actually been climbing pretty quick. Stupid tree. Depending on how distracted I get on a run through. You know what? I think I want you first. Just because of the way you guys have been pathing in front of each other. I can handle two of these guys together. I would just rather not. Rule of thumb is take on one mob at a time. So that way, if something accidentally pulls or patrols into you or respawns on top of you, you may still have a fighting chance. But you don't want to go around pulling more than one, because then if you get something that walks into you or spawns in on top of you, then you might have 3+, and that's not a good idea. Especially in today's environment, with things being a little wonky about how hard spells are hitting and stuff not completely squishing. So I tried prot, and I have another normal pally that's a prot. It was taking longer to kill stuff on protection than it was in ret. And it was driving me crazy. I'm like, this fight should have been over by now. So while it might give me a little bit more in the way of hit points, I felt really underpowered in comparison. Because I did touch into it for a little bit, and I was not comfortable. I actually had a level 90 paladin that was in protection set up on a different server that I had ended up deleting because we moved servers, and I was like, I can just level a new one. So I actually restored her to scout a little bit over here in this zone before I brought this one out here. And yeah, I was pulling quite a bit by accident because it didn't matter if that particular one died. But I had like 3 or 4 on me, and it was ridiculous how long it was taking to finish the fight, and then I felt like I wasn't getting enough healing out to save myself, and I don't know, it just felt really awkward. But this one's been I dabbled into prot like for 3 kills, and I was like, yeah, no, and went back to ret. But so far it's been doing well for me. I'm into a flow and into a rhythm with this. So at this point I'm like, yeah, we're just gonna keep going with it until something really odd happens. But yeah, it's been good. I mean, I've got both buffs, and I don't know, it's been fairly decent so far. Now remember, we're not touching, well, I'm not touching any rares from Pandaria and up. I actually haven't touched any rares in Old World since 8.0 dropped. I've been a little afraid to. We've heard reports of some people just getting completely owned by some of the rares on their low levels, and I'm like, yeah, you know, I don't have to kill that rare. I am fine with having to kill an extra, you know, what, 20 plus mobs. That's fine. You know, I'll get it figured out. But definitely not touching anything Pandaria and up, because those guys hit like a truck back then. And I would have a fully geared character running through Pandaria, and the rares were just owning me. So I'm fine skipping rares. When you do start to get into Warlords and Legion though, they introduced the bonus objectives, which were certain spots on your map where there would be a bonus quest. Now you have to be really careful about those. If you're on an Iron Challenger or a Tin Challenger, Green Man, you're fine. It doesn't matter. Because whatever, because it's a quest. However, if you're on a Bloodthirsty, you need to watch yourself. Because some of these bonus objective areas, and there's one down near the beach in Shadow Moon Valley, the bonus objective is kill X number of, and it's 2 different mobs. So if you're not paying attention to the area that you are grinding in, you may accidentally complete a kill X number of mobs bonus objective, and it's going to count as a quest on you. And the new Bloodthirsty, well, Bloodthirsties from here on out, you only have that 4 quest buffer. So you've got to be really super careful and be aware of where you are on your map. So if you see a bonus objective pop up in that area, you're going to have to move to somewhere else to get out of the range of the bonus objective. So that goes for Warlords and Legion. Oh jeez. Yeah, you know, that green gear doesn't guarantee that you're gonna survive it. You still gotta be super, super careful at all times. I mean, I've had a Bloodthirsty dying full green gear, so... Oh, ooh, what is that? Oh, that's a one-handed mace. That didn't show up in the thing. There it is. Wow, that's something. Looks like a beehive with horns sticking out of it. Right. So we need a 2-handed weapon, so we'll stick that in the auction house section of our bag. you know, for whenever we get the heck out of Shadow Moon Valley. Now that's gonna be a fun adventure because I'm gonna have to figure out how to get the Storm Shield from here. And I don't quite know how that's gonna work. So, because the Flight Point toy only worked for Eastern Kingdoms and Kalimdor, and I used the shortcut to get out of here, or get out of Pandaria and into Warlords, like we have to. And I ran on my water walking mount down here the whole way, so not quite sure how to get to Storm Shield to get portaled out of here. So that's gonna be interesting. And I don't have flying, so I can't just fly there. So maybe I need to get off my ass and hop on my main and try to work on my flying before I'm done over here. That might be what ends up happening. It's amazing how much flying can circumvent some issues. But it can make things definitely a lot more challenging when you don't have it. Oh jeez. Well, you know, if you can laugh at it in the end, you gotta be able to laugh at your mistakes. You're like, oh jeez. You know, cause it is a game. And nobody was really hurt in real life because your character didn't make it. Yeah, it stings and it hurts and will be sad, but I have 200 and I've got 9,000 gold, but you can't buy flying in Warlords. You have to unlock it. Warlords, you have to complete the Draenei or the Draenor Pathfinder. So you have to explore the entirety of Draenor. You have to have the Draenor Lore Master. You have to have the Draenor Treasure Hunter, which is finding X number of treasures or specific treasures in each zone. You have to have the rep requirement for... Thank you, loud truck. You have to have the rep requirement for the factions in Tannin Jungle, I believe. And you also have to have an achievement for securing Draenor, which is one of my main struggles right now. To get the securing Draenor achievement is tied to your garrison. So you get a special daily quest board that pops up once you reach the max level for Draenor. And it gives you a choice between 2 specific dailies every day. And you can only do one of the 2 choices that day, which is really sort of shitty. But one's like a large quest that they suggest you have multiple people doing with you if you're of level, and another one is one that you can do easier on your own. I got sick of doing the dailies when Warlords was current, and I went back to my challenge tunes and I was like, fuck this shit. And so I never went back to it, and now that I've got challengers that are getting to up into Warlords, I'm like, crap, I really want the flying. So so now I did at the beginning of the summer try to come back in to work towards my Draenor flying. And the stupid gated daily that I can only do one of every day was starting to piss me off again, because it kept giving me the same ones I already had. And I was not gonna do the same ones I didn't need every day, because I was like, screw this shit, I've got better things to do. And we were super busy. We had a bunch of drama going on in real life. I'm like, I don't have time for this right now. So I kind of stopped coming to check on it, and in the meantime stopped doing my dailies in Tan and Jungle. So I wasn't getting my rep there either, so I'm kind of still back where I am. I think I completed 1 or 2 parts of the achievement required, but I still need to complete the rep, and I still need to complete the damn achievement for securing Draenor. I don't know. I didn't know anything about that. I'll have to look. Because that would be freaking helpful. Because I'm going out of my mind. Because I'm like, stop giving me this stupid same 2 every day. Like, I don't need these 2. They look like scrolls. Alright, I'll have to dig around in that on my main later tonight. Because that was terrible. That just made me not want to do it. And now that I'm out here, I'm like, crap. How am I getting to Storm Shield? I'm gonna have to tiptoe through everything and hope nothing kills me on the way. Because that's my only way out of here, I think. And, it's through Storm Shield, so I'm like, shit. And I'm like, well, I've still got, you know, a good 6-7 levels before I have to worry about it if I make it through here. But I should probably be working on that because it might take me that long because these levels have been going pretty quickly. Section I'm in's been okay. Yeah, I'll have to check on that at some point here. How do I do this? Hang on one second. I'm trying to do something here. And don't know if it's going to let me from this page. Give me 1 second, guys. Trying to remember how to do something. So bear with me 1 second. Time out. No, no. Damn it, how do I? There we go. Ha! Figured out. Okay. Sorry, guys. They've been driving me crazy for like 2 weeks and I forgot how to look it up. There we go. Okay. So I can do something for resources. Alright, that's better then. That'll make that a lot more tolerable. So Buzz, no, you weren't a mod, but you are now. I've been meaning to do that for weeks now. It's like, oh, Buzz is here. Oh, wait, I didn't do that the last time because I couldn't remember how to do it. Took me a second. I was like, I know it's really simple and I cannot figure out how the frig to do it. And I'm like trying to click on your name and I'm like, no, no, that's not what I want. It's like, oh, right, I need to be in this list. That's right. Oh, goodness. Okay, so I'll investigate that on my main, maybe tomorrow morning, if not later tonight. Depends on how tired I am and what time we actually wrap up. I did end up having a migraine late Monday night that continued into yesterday. So I was pretty much sick in bed for about 90% of yesterday. I was up for like 2 hours and then ended up laying back down for like another hour and a half, and finally forced myself to get up and felt okay enough to attempt to eat. And still have a vague headache going on now, but that'll end up fading as the day goes on. Yeah, like the quests were easy enough, it's just they weren't giving me what I wanted, and I didn't remember that I could request specific ones. So that now that you've brought that to my attention, that should make that a lot easier. So it just got to the point where I was like, I don't want to do this if it's not going to give me anything new. Like, I was actually dicking around with some of the invasions. I can't remember if I needed a couple of the invasions for the Draenor achievement or not. I might have needed them, or I had them saved up and needed to do them. I don't remember. I'd done a couple of those, and then it just got to the point where it was feeling like a trial, and I'm like, yeah, this isn't holding my attention right now, and I've got challengers to level, damn it. And then I went back off to my challengers, and yeah. So things and stuff. Maybe that was something new that came in when Legion came in, or towards the end of WoD when I wasn't really playing that much of the WoD stuff. So we've got 2.5 bars to go. This is going fairly quickly. I mean, I know they said they reduced some of the XP requirements to get through certain levels, which is good because our Iron team in the 50s just was just taking forever. Yeah, it might have been when Tannen was. I know when Tannen came out, I was like, oh, okay, and I started playing it, and then for some reason I just got so tired of doing dailies constantly. I was like, yeah, no. And I was like, no, I'd rather go do challenge stuff. And just lost complete interest in the whole daily quest scene. And I mean, I'm kicking myself for it now, because once you have it unlocked, you can have it on all of your alts, but yeah, it just seemed so grueling at the time. I was just like, yeah, no. And you know what didn't help? I was also on a discipline priest, and at the time, you know, I felt really squishy, my gear wasn't the greatest, so doing anything on my own was a trial. And it seemed to take 10 times longer, because the husband wasn't playing at that time. He had taken a break. So it was kind of hard to motivate myself when I knew I was going to spend like 90% of it dead. Or, you know, standing there trying to kill one thing while everybody else is running past me slaughtering stuff. Alright. So tomorrow night, the stream schedule might be a little weird. I am going to be doing some Stardew Valley with Zorts. I don't know what time we're going to be doing that yet. And I also don't know whose channel we're going to be on. Depends on what time Zorts gets up and is functional. So, but at some point tonight on either my channel or his, or tomorrow night, excuse me, sometime tomorrow night, yes. We will be doing Stardew Valley co-op. And we will be investigating that and seeing what there is to see. Okay, and John, apparently, Terwinkle himself, is going to be joining us. And I can totally see us putting up a fenced wall around his hut and him not figuring out how to get out. He won't end up having his pickaxe with him. That will be all sorts of interesting. We can make John go in the caves. John would be like, what did you do? He'll have dropped his axe off to get it upgraded and put up a stone fence around his house with no gate. Be like, I can't get out. What? Oh, I dropped my pickaxe off to be upgraded too. Well, shit. Oh my god. The things that I've started. Or, you know, he'll log out for the night and Sorts will be putting up a fence after everybody's left. Because we can't end the day unless we all sleep. So we all have to make sure that we are tucked up in our houses to end out a day. I did read that much. Well, it looks like it's going to be interesting. Alright. So, I have an idea. Well, see, Warlords is going to be, or not Warlords, Legion is going to be interesting. And I'm probably going to have to do some scouting there again. On a Paladin that I do have in reserve. Excuse me. Like I said, I'm still getting over that migraine from yesterday. Makes me extra tired. Because while I did take the Demon Hunter through Legion, and the Demon Hunter did get to 110, they're a little bit of a different animal when it comes to killing mobs, and they can hold 3 to 4 mobs, or at least they could, without any trouble. When I went through there with the Demon Hunter. Paladin, probably not so much, and where I was killing stuff on the Demon Hunter, I'm not so sure I can get away with killing stuff in the same area on this one. And my Paladin I have sitting in the wings as a normal is 102. So I might just strip her down to normal gear if she isn't already in like regular greens. I don't think she has anything special on. And probably take her out and see where I can get away with hitting stuff. Oh my goodness. But so, and then that's if I get that far. So we'll see what happens. And we've still got several levels between here and there. But it probably wouldn't hurt to... Look, now see, this dude is right under the edge. There we go. Couldn't get him to come up high enough to click on him. I would just run around in here and kill these guys since they're giving more XP, but there's elites mixed in to Umberfen walking around, and I don't want any parts of them. So, to keep myself from accidentally backing into one or accidentally pulling one, we're just gonna skirt the edge here and grab these few on our way by. This circuit seems to be working fairly well. I have gotten a couple of greens to drop as an upgrade. So far I've gotten shoulders and hands. You can tell because they're not transmogged. I was entirely transmogged. I didn't realize I had had this entire set that I picked up on somebody else. I was like, oh cool, so I transmogged myself before I headed out here. And now you can see every single piece of gear that has been upgraded since then because it doesn't match. Yay! Now I have to look at my ugly ass self for the next whatever levels, but that's okay. It's showing me, oh, now see, this ended up with 2 of these guys again. I wasn't paying attention to how close these guys were. Alright, so that one's gonna die, that's fine. I think they were too close and Bladed Justice brought the second one. I think that's what happened. Alright, you're gonna stay over there, I think. We're gonna squeak by and pull this one. So transmog can be a blessing and a curse, depending on how you look at it. I know Azzy's always like, oh, you should transmog your character, and I'm like, yeah, but when I don't have access to a city that often, because I don't come back to a main city very often. I usually stay out where I'm killing stuff. Gotta watch because there's a pack of wolves right here. We don't want any parts of that. 2 of them I can do. More than that, it's gonna turn into quite the hot mess. And I'm going to end up murdering a cat here in a second if he doesn't behave. He's been getting into all sorts of trouble. We actually had to set up our dog crate that we have for Momo and Zuzu for the cat at night because he won't leave the one female cat alone. He keeps pouncing her and starting fights with her in the middle of the night, and she's scared to come out of her hiding spot. So we put him in timeout at night with food and a litter box and in the one dog crate. And it's the only way we've been able to get any sleep lately. And to get her to come out of hiding under furniture. Because we don't want to get rid of either one of them, but you know, we have to get creative about our solutions. During the day, he still kind of messes with her a little bit, but we're awake to either put him in timeout or to break it up, which is fine. She's very timid. She doesn't seem to want to fight back and defend herself very well unless she's forced to. Our other female cat, she doesn't take shit from anybody. Somebody looks at her wrong, she's smacking them in the head. But this one, she's like, no, I'm not here. Pretend you don't see me. So we don't know what kind of life she had before we ended up with her, but these guys and their stupid charge. It's a wee bit annoying. Remember, these don't drop loot. Alright, so we've got about a bar and a half remaining. So that's good. So far, everything has been going pretty smoothly on this one. And I gotta tell you, I love the XP bump, once again, on the pacifists, on the gathering professions. Oh, it's amazing right now. I'm getting 2300 XP. My pacifist is rested. Her last level, she was getting, I think, 2100 per node that she was looting between mining and flower picking. And this level, she was getting 2300 per node. It's fantastic. It made that level fly by today. Took me the better part of the day, but it didn't feel too bad. Yeah, Boz, I would hop on him. I mean, I don't know what I'm gonna do when I get out of when I get too high for Northrend, because I guess I'm gonna be reduced to dailies, and I think I can still mine stuff in Kata without it spawning critters when I mine an herb, but I'm gonna ride that XP train for all it's worth until it gets too dangerous for me to do so. And then I think I'll be reduced to potentially archaeology and dailies, and I don't like where my dig sites are. I'm kind of hoping they might change my dig sites when BFA drops. Kind of. I know that's a fruitless endeavor, but my fingers are crossed that they'll change them. Past Panda. Okay, so I can still mine in the Kata zones and be okay. Well, that's good, because, you know, Oldham's got some decent mining. It's got pyrite and shit. But, yeah, so like, I'm kind of in unfamiliar... Oh, Draenor! Oh, so I can mine in Pandaria. That's right, Panda didn't spawn anything. It's just Panda, sometimes you couldn't find that many nodes because some were hidden in mist, so it took a little bit longer. That's right, that did come in Draenor, so I should be okay for a while. So it's Draenor and up, where things got silly. Good morning, Mrs. Rock Guru. And how are you today? Hope all is well. We are here running in circles in Shadow Moon Valley, killing Talbucks and wolves and some spore bats, and trying to not drive ourselves crazy by attempting to loot something that's not dropping loot because they're for a quest. I actually felt a little bit bad killing these the one day because somebody was out here trying to capture them for a quest, and I stood there and killed one, and he threw a rope, or he or she threw a rope around one's neck that spawned in next to me, and I'm like, oh, sorry. I was like, sorry, but not that sorry. I was like, don't worry, they'll spawn back in a second. So that's why I'm not focusing in this exact spot, but don't want to screw over anybody too hard that might be trying to do the quest. Try not to be a colossal dick. Alright. So we've got a bar and a smidge remaining here. One thing that is driving me nuts, and it's a very minor thing, is that this numerical value at the bottom for how much XP you have against how much XP you need numerically isn't updating unless you hover over the bar. And it's driving me crazy. And I don't know why. It shouldn't be that big of a deal. And I'm sure to most people it's not. Like, the color keeps marching forward, as it should. But down here is not updating unless I hover over it. I did submit a bug report, but it's probably like on the last of their list of things to fix. So I'm just gonna have to cope. But it is driving me absolutely crazy. Okay, so let's see here. We've got a bar left. Can we do it in the 12 minutes remaining on this buff? I don't know. Maybe. Maybe not. We will see. Okay. So let's... That, like, I'm trying not to use this one because it's got a little bit of a cooldown. Okay. But the husband did see that it looked like they gave Pally's judgment back. So I might have to look at judgment on a different character and see what's changed. I know discipline feels like it's in a weird place right now for me personally with the heals that I have at my disposal. Not sure I'm liking it, but you know, I also have a shaman that I could level that was my raid healer through Pandaria if it comes to it. Alright, so you're gonna be there. We're gonna just kind of sidestep up here and grab this guy. I like that tree because it gives me 2000 XP, but I'm not gonna go out of my way to get him. Oh, damn tree, get out of the way. So that ancient that we got when we first started out, but he is a bit off course when I'm over in this section. And we don't want to mess with these guys. The single Elec is okay. However, the family unit that's up there, you cannot, at least when I was doing my scouting in the back of the zone, near where that ghost Talbuck runs around that you can get that toy off of. When I was trying to pull those, if I pulled a calf, all 3 came. I was like, okay, well, maybe it's just because I pulled a calf and the other 2 came to its rescue. So I pulled just the adult and all 3 came again, and that was a bitch of a fight on the test scout person that I was running. So I was like, oh yeah, no. It's like, we can kill these, and just means we're just gonna have to kill more stuff, and that's okay. I'd rather have a safe kill than an iffy kill, and that's fine with me. So let's keep on steadily moving through here. Alright, so we got about 3/4 of a bar, and we might just do this. We might get the 2 leveled. Well, I got the pacifist leveled earlier, so you're not going to see her on stream this week. But, oh! So, something worth noting for those that might be just leveling a pacifist that haven't gotten very far yet. They've changed cooking a little bit. So, now cooking's kind of broken down per X-Pack. So you don't have to have your old world cooking to a certain level before you can learn the next expansion's cooking, because my cooking total was at like 212, and before 8.0 dropped, I could not pick up the cooking daily in Darlaran because my cooking, I believe, was not high enough to get it. So that being said, I was sitting there today and was like, you know, what the hell? I don't understand why I can't get this. It's got to be my cooking level. So for shits and giggles, I decided to go talk to the trainer to see if there was even anything for Northrend that I could learn on the pacifist. And when I opened up the trainer, I was like, oh shit, that's right, they changed cooking. So I was able to learn Northrend cooking level 1, and poof, it gave me the daily. So I was like, I feel dumb now. I could have done this last week. So yeah, don't forget, if you're on your pacifists, to check in with the Northrend one probably when you get there. I don't know if I had to be a certain level, but it was letting me do it at 74, so I mean, it gave me the fishing daily several levels ago. I mean, I can't always do the fishing daily because some of the Northrend fishing dailies involve unsafe areas like Wintergrasp, or involves me to kill things and get myself bloody for the one in Borean, and so yeah. But like, you can do the Jewel of the Sword at the very least. That one's fairly safe. Find that the Autumn Festival, the Pilgrim one, is great for leveling cooking. Yeah, that one's gonna help too. And we're gonna have Brewfest coming up soon. I don't think there's that much. Well, I think the pacifists might be able to do the ram racing. Excuse me, I don't think that involves killing anything, but they're gonna have to be careful that they don't get tagged for a proximity kill if there's a big brawl going on, if the Dark Irons are attacking in the main setup area. That could be problematic. But I haven't done the updated article for that yet, so I'm sure I'll find out when I go to do that. So I'll have to do some research from Wowhead to see what's been updated and what hasn't, and compare it to last year's article. See, that guy's an elite, so we don't want to fuck with him. That's why I'm not going further into Umberfen. Okay. Alright, so we're just about there, guys, on this particular one. And then we will probably check out that druid that I started, that's in just her starting gear. Since I don't really have anybody else quite ready for stream this week. I mean, we could hop on the green man, but I might save that for Saturday. We'll see what this weekend holds. Okay, so there's that guy. Let me click him now, so he doesn't do that silly thing where he goes under the water and I can't get him until I'm standing on top of him. Alright. Can we do it before the buff runs out? Maybe. Maybe not. We got 3 minutes to go. Not like it matters, I can reapply the buff, but sometimes you gotta keep things interesting for yourself. No, we're gonna be... Don't think the spore bats are gonna quite do it, so... Okay. Alright, so let's come up here. We got about 2.5 minutes remaining on this particular round of buffets. Come on, wolf. Alright, now the wolves are going to give us a little bit less XP. But they're still giving us about 700, so that's not that much less, but it's still not the 1,000 that the other was. Alright, so you come here. Come on back here and say hello, Mr. Wolfid. Alright, we should probably kick off a heal here. Ooh, we might just do it in the time allowed. Huh. Alright. So let's get this guy. Maybe. So close. Alright. Let's get this one. Helps if I remember to spend the holy power. Seriously? Okay. So 2 minutes to go. Just need to get close enough to pull this guy. I think. Will you do it for us? Oh no. Alright. Let's see. I don't want to rush that pull. Rushing that pull could be disastrous. Not when we're this close. Oh, you either. Okay. Come on. Come on. Walk towards me. Walk towards me. Okay, good. That was far enough away. I'm always a little nervous on that pull. Ah! Nope, we're gonna be like 30 seconds shy. Oh, sadness. That's okay. We probably should have went to these guys. Yep, there it is. Just after the buff popped off. That's okay. Makes things interesting. Alright, so let's get our picture. Alright, we're gonna hearth back to the inn and get our slash blade. I can only imagine what my real world timestamp looks like on this one so far. Looking at that slash blade. Alright, so let's clean up this screenshot a little bit. Alright, so we've got Bloodthirsty Soul Shield, the Rep Pally, days 92. And we've got a slash played of 8 days. Excuse me, 21 hours, 43 minutes, and 26 seconds. And our total kills. I've not checked on this in a little bit, so this should be interesting. Total kills is at less than I was expecting, actually. 24,871. I was kind of expecting that to hit 25,000. I'm surprised it didn't. But then again, they lowered the XP requirement, so that would make sense. Alright. So we're going to tweet that along. Wow, I have almost another level of rested waiting for me. Nice. Okay. So while that is tweeting, we're just going to vendor real super quick. Since there doesn't seem to be a vendor inside. Come out here. Oh, okay. So now we're up to 619 sumptuous fur. So let's do that. Alright. So we're gonna switch characters real super quick. Okay, so we finished off the pacifist earlier. We just hit 92 on the paladin. So we're gonna switch gears, and we're still gonna be on bloodthirsty though. We're gonna switch servers. So I've got my challengers spread around a little bit. Where are we at? We're going to go to Blooming Soul. Now this was the druid in resto that I had started to try to get her to level 100. I'm not so confident we're going to be able to do that now in just the starting gear, but I am curious to see how far we can get with what we've got on her. I did take her out at one point to see how things felt on her, to figure out if I needed to throw gear on her just yet, and it felt okay. I wasn't doing too much in the way of killing stuff. I was playing it safe, well, as safe as I can on her. So we'll see what happens. Alright, so let's see. There's a gentler way down over here. I'm still not quite sure how I feel about the changes to the spider models. They're really super creepy now. Wow, NPC? You like totally borked my XP there. I don't know, they're creepy, but I'm not a spider person, so it might be why I'm having a hard time dealing with that new model. Hello, Chupa. So we do have to stay on our toes in regards to watching our health on this one a lot. So if it seems like I'm excessively healing, it's probably because I am. Because I'm not that familiar with resto. And especially considering I'm extra squishy. All things considered. Okay, so that one's about to drop off. Okay, so, I mean, I'm doing okay. I'm surprised I'm doing as okay as I am. It doesn't feel like I'm in just the starting gear. So, I'm sure that will change at some point. But it's probably helping that I am able to heal myself. So I am in just the starting gear, so we will see how this continues to go. But like I said, if it starts to feel a little too shaky, then I will throw the regular gear on her. Yes, pigs, yes! And the pigs are saying hello? Sounds like they're all joining in. Lucky, Potato, and Harvey. Okay. So we are just gonna kind of bum around here and see what we can do. I'm not sure where else I want to take her just yet. I mean, I could move on to wetlands, but I'm okay with hanging here for a while more. I mean, granted, her levels are going to take a little bit longer if I'm avoiding the rares, but we'll see. I mean, it kind of makes me sad that I'm passing up all of this leather gear that I don't know the transmogs on. But, you know, I don't have to do just the starting gear. That's just my own choice to mix things up a little bit. Alright. So let's see about pulling the next critter. Now, so far I've only been in one-on-one altercations. I have not accidentally had two on me with this character in her current state of dress. So that could make me feel differently about things. But I won't know till that happens, so I think the highest I've gotten attempting to do this in just starting gear was level 31? 30, something like that. I got taken down by a rare that hit me suddenly a lot harder than I was expecting it to, because I had taken it down the level before and been fine. But something about the level change, and it and I did not get along with each other. Okay, this one's a runner. So let's see about getting our heals going while we're waiting on him to come back. Okay, so I did do about 2 bars worth of leveling on this one, testing things out the other night. Can't remember what night it was. And yeah, it felt okay, surprisingly. I feel like it might go a touch faster if I actually put some gear on, but... So what are you guys working on right now? Are you guys still working on your challengers? Are you taking a break till BFA drops? What are you all up to? I know a good portion of my challengers are still naked from the 8.0 patch drop, but that's because life has been crazy for me, and we're still getting my dad settled in and adjusting to having another person in the house. Leveling a warrior the normal way, just trying to get to 110 before BFA. Nice. I wish you luck, although that should go fairly well. Because, I mean, you can dungeon and stuff on a normal. So hopefully that won't go too badly. And that'll move along for you. Like, I've got several alts to level, like normal alts, that I just haven't gotten around to. Now this guy being a bit of a pain. Let's step across here. Some more stuff to level on this side. I don't want to get knocked into the water here. So I want to make sure I'm not too close to the cliff. Because this guy does that little angry snort or snout or whatever the heck it's called. And he's got that little pushback on him. Alright. All out of rage for dying on my green man at 19 both times. Well, I mean, sometimes you just need to walk away for a minute. However long your personal minute may be, and regroup. And then come back at it. I do know, warriors are a little bit, tissue papery right now. They kind of have been hit or miss. So, you're gonna have to keep food with you. Or, make sure that you've got bandages from the auction house. One to a gang of gnomes. And one to fall damage. My problem is I refuse to play Night Elf or Pandarian. Well, I mean, then you just have to be super careful and work around it. Like, not all of my characters are Night Elves. I think the only ones that are Night Elves are my druids. And that's because, I didn't feel like playing another Horde character, and I refused to go Worgen. I'm okay with Worgen as a normal character. Fine. Where are you going? Oh. I'm fine with, you know, normal character Worgens. I just don't want to play them as a challenger because I've had their starting area be buggy on me. And I really don't want to do that starting area over if I die. Because it just vexes me. So it's just my own personal thing. And I'm really not that big of a fan of Night Elves. I don't know what it is about them. They just kind of make me angry sometimes. So, I mean, this one is a Night Elf, and I know I've got at least another Night Elf on the higher Druid that's balanced, but I also have a Horde Druid on a High Mountain Tauren, so... You would want to wiggle. Wait, what is this you're saying, Azzy? You would want to get a wiggle on to get to 110 before BFA. Well, we'll see what happens. I'm not trying to get anybody to, so 110 before BFA. My main goal on that paladin that we just leveled up was to get to 90. That was my bucket list for Legion. And we've hit that and surpassed it. And I believe my bucket list for the pacifist for Legion was to get to 70. And we've actually crested that and hit 75. So I'm happy with where my characters are right now. I know I'm not getting a level a week on everybody, but that's just not possible now with how long it takes to get a level. And my life circumstances have also changed a little bit. Which also is why my stream time has changed from what it was before. So we're making life adjustments. My dad is living back with us now. That's why I was gone for 2 weeks. We had to go to New Jersey and help him relocate. And we packed up what stuff he wanted to come down that wouldn't fit in the car, and we mailed it down. And then the rest of the time we were up there while we were stuck waiting to do things that could only be done during Monday through Friday business hours, like turning in internet and phone equipment and a few other things that had to be dealt with that could only be dealt with during the week. We did a little bit of touristy stuff because it's probably the last time we're ever going to be in New Jersey. And we ended up packing him up and bringing him down. These guys I'm not a fan of. They are actually hitting a bit harder than I would like. It is slow, yes, especially the 60 to 80. I have a boost that feels too cheap. I actually used my boost from buying the expansion on an opposite faction character so that I could unlock the Horde allied races, because I didn't have a 110 Horde to do the Join Us quest. So that's what I did with my boost. And I feel really bad for doing it because it's like, I'm never probably going to play this character, but it was the fastest option for me to get that with the way things are right now. So I just made that one my Horde bank alt, so if any of my Horde challengers die, that's where the stuff's gonna end up getting sent. So I was starting to get a little tight for character space, so I might have to kill off another character I have sitting somewhere that I'm not actually playing. I mean, it's great that they're increasing the amount of characters per realm that we can have. I'd really like to see them let us have at least 10 more characters per account, just so I'd have a little bit of breathing room, because right now I'm really watching the number of characters that I've got going on. Oh, we need a vendor. Haha. Alright, let's mosey on down the road here. I am not level 20 yet, so I don't have the vendor mount yet, but there is a vendor at the excavation site. So let's mosey on down that way and check things out and do some selling, and then we can probably go after some trogs down there, or attempt to. We'll see how hard those are gonna hit in our current state. Because I do have some leather gear in my bag, I think. Maybe. I know I've got some cloth. I've got a couple pieces of leather. But, I mean, I've got a mix of stuff if I need to throw a green on. Didn't want to, but I will, for the sake of preservation of the character, if I need to. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention. I wasn't sure if I had gone past the excavation site or not. Nope, just hadn't gotten there quite yet. Alright. Come on up here and do a little vendoring. So, trying to get Russell to do our iron team again. We're kind of stalled at level 14. He doesn't always want to play, and he just picked up a Final Fantasy game. I think he said it was one that came out, I'm just gonna vendor that. I think he said it came out last year. And he's like been trying to play it all day, but everybody keeps bugging the shit out of him today. So he's getting kind of pissed off. Because like he'd be playing and I'd be like, hey, can you? And he's like, what? And so I'm like, can you do this? And then he sits back down and not 5 minutes later, somebody else is like wanting him to do something. And then at one point today, he's like, okay, well, it's your turn. What do you want me to do now? And I'm like, I didn't say anything. He goes, it's your turn. What do you want me to do? Before I sit back down again. I was like, well, I was gonna see if you would take the dogs out, but you don't have to. I mean, I'll just have to find my shoes and put their harnesses on, because I refuse to take them out without a leash. Because they don't always listen to me. They don't always listen to Russell, but they'll listen to him before they'll listen to me. So when I'm outside with them, their asses are on a leash. So they much prefer when Daddy takes them, because Daddy lets them run free in the backyard, even though the backyard's not fenced in. But I don't trust them to listen to me, so they're with me. They're leashed. But we did pick up new leashes the other day. We got 6-foot long leads, so they can have a little bit more freedom of distance from us and still have their leashes on. We tried to get them new harnesses, because Zuzu's harness, if he pulled a certain way, or if he pulled extra hard on it, like, I know there's a rare that walks through here, so now I'm a little nervous about coming in here. Maybe we won't go in there. Maybe we'll just stick to outside. But if he pulls a certain way on it, it has a plastic clasp, like a buckle, that snaps into itself. And then it has these 2 rings that come up and the leash hooks into it for each side of the harness. Well, if he pulls with a certain amount of force on the leash, he pops the buckle. The harness stays on him because the leash has it clasped to him. But he can pop that buckle, and that made me nervous. And since we are going out of state with them in a couple months, I was like, yeah, they need new harnesses. So we got him a comfort harness, just kind of flat and cushy, but it's got more surface area on it to keep him in there snug. And while it was another plastic buckle, I was okay with it because it felt pretty secure on him. We tried to get the same deal for Momo. However, Momo's a lot differently shaped than Zuzu. He's like a friggin' skeleton. I mean, the dog eats. He's definitely not malnourished, but he's tall and he's skinny as shit. And the harness we got, we thought like it was sitting kind of awkward when we tried it on him in the store. And I was kind of unsure about it. But then, you know, we were thinking, well, maybe it's sitting weird because these other harnesses on underneath of it. You know, we'll buy it. We'll take it home. It'll be good. Because we had to get him an extra small compared to Zuzu's is small. So we got home and I put it on him, and it is just all sorts of weirdness. Like, the underside where it comes under his chest is a little tight. It's snug. It wasn't too bad, but it was definitely snug. But the chest was way too big, and there was this huge airy gap in the front, and I'm like, yeah, I don't like that. So we have to take that one back. So what'd you get at the dollar store?
Some chips.
Oh, it was a snack run.
Yes.
I see.
I was desperate.
Alright, so let's pull him. Like, these guys aren't hitting too bad. But I definitely have to pay attention to my health here. So I do apologize if I go quiet on you for a second, because I am actually trying to pay attention to what I'm doing here. So, probably... I don't know what I'm doing tomorrow night for stream. Because got some stuff to do in the morning, maybe. So I'm gonna be a little busy tomorrow. Definitely doing Stardew Valley with Zorts at some point tomorrow. It might just be Stardew Valley tomorrow. We will see how things go and what schedules allow for. And then Friday, we'll have some sort of team action with me and Zorts, I believe. I don't know if it's going to be our Iron team or our Blood team. Probably the Iron team. We have to figure out where our next plan of attack is going to be. That we have not figured out yet. But we shall see. Okay, so let's get a regrowth going. I don't like how quick my health was dropping there. Let's get this guy in range. So I was going through the spell book for the druid on this one earlier, and I noticed that I did not see where druids got their group buff back. I know priests got their group buff back, but I didn't see it for the druids. I was a little surprised. Unless I'm staring right at it and just am not seeing it, but yeah, I don't see it in there. It was the little black paw and the pink background. Don't see it there. I kind of figured if priests were getting fortitude back, that druids would be getting theirs back. That does not seem to be the case, unless it's spec specific, which it could be. I did not look at the other specs, although that would be really weird if it was spec specific. So, probably not. Yeah, I'm not seeing it at all. That's bear form. Yeah. I don't see it at all. I don't know, it just kind of struck me as weird. But whatever. Yay, Russell making noise. You could have, like, used scissors. As he ignores me, he must have earphones in. And now he's making me want chips. What kind of chips did you get? Yeah, he's totally ignoring me. I think he has his earphones in. Oh goodness. Alright, so what are we at here? We're making progress. It's slow progress, but we're making progress. Kinda wanna try a rare. Cause you know, I'm level 18. I can make that up. If I just give up the silly notion of attempting to do this in starter gear, I can catch that up pretty quickly. So I kinda wanna attempt a rare just to see what it's gonna do. Even though I have a feeling it's gonna go terribly, terribly wrong. Yeah, we'll be doing something on Friday. Something challenges. Alright, Sortles, I will see you tomorrow. Have a good night at work. Stay warm. Alright, you guys. So, for some reason, and I don't know why, it feels a lot slower than the Paladin was going a few minutes ago. Could be that this is a caster, and that's why it feels slower. Is a very distinct possibility. Or it could be the lack of stats. Dragging this out a little bit. I am constantly healing instead of damaging. So I don't even know if the rare's up. I haven't really seen anybody out here. Although we've been in sections out here that aren't that well traveled at times. And I guess there are a lot of people that are working on the pre-expansion event, which is definitely possible. If you guys haven't done that yet, make sure you go do it, because for a limited time, you get a mount out of it. And it doesn't look like you have to do both sides to get the mount for each side. It looks like if you get the amount for either the Alliance or the Horde, you get the other one automatically. At least that seemed to be the case with me. But I'll tell you, it is a lot harder to catch the rares up now with the world scaling than it used to be before. At least for me. Then again, I also play on a normal server, so there's a lot more competition between people coming in and running through and all that jazz. I think the RP servers, it's a little more concentrated to certain areas at certain times. Over here, it's just kind of a mismatch of people of different levels constantly coming through here at all times of the day. So, you know, we'll see how this goes. We've still got plenty of time on this one. I mean, there's a couple of potential rares that we could go after. Or we could check on. But Dwarf makes me a little nervous because he drops your stats, but he matches your stat drop when it happens. But I don't have a whole lot of quick counters for him, and he likes to jump behind me. So we'll think about that. I might see if the Trog is up. Over, you know, we could see if the spider's up. We're nearby the spider. And if the spider's not up, well, maybe there will be a chest. Let's go check that out. We might as well. I mean, we're right here. We still have some room in the inventory. We can drop that. Alright. Now, let's see what we can get into up here. Don't even know if it's going to be up. More people are figuring out that the spider's up here. Nope, she's not here. Alright. That's fine. Do we have a chest? No, we don't. Damn. We're just batting 0 here. Okay. So that answers that. Alright. So we can see if the trog is up. Oh, hello. I guess I might as well attack you since I need the XP anyway. And there is a very scary alligator on the other side of you, so I really can't run through you. That would not go well for anyone involved. That's for sure. Alright. Feels so silly doing all of this pre-healing, but it's gonna keep us alive. Then that's the key, right? So... Alright. Go travel mode for a few feet here. And we'll go after this guy. Or gal, whichever. That's the Unicrocolisk. Okay. So let's see, we kind of want to go back in that direction. So let's, yes, piggies, yes, you will get dinner soon. They are so fussy. They'll be quiet all day. And then the second I start streaming, these just start screeching their heads off. Okay. So, gotta deal with this bear. It still feels weird to see these guys scaling to your level or close to it. I don't know if that's something I'm ever gonna get used to. It just feels wrong. I don't know why, but... No, you're not allowed to heal. No healing for you. Can't be having that. Nope. Alright, I do need to get back into my mount runs. I haven't done those in ages. I really need to start working on that. I've got like so much to do, I don't know what to do. I think that's my current problem. Like, oh, I've got challengers I want to work on. Oh, I've got mount runs I want to do. Oh, I need to work on my Draenor flying. It's like, oh, I should level some alts too. And I'm just like, I just don't have time to do all of it. So I need to pick and choose what I'm going to do. Because I also try to do some leveling away from stream on my challengers that are going to be showing up, at least the ones that, you know, the bloodthirsty guys. Because I actually had wanted to have more done on this character ahead of time than I did, but things did not work out as planned yesterday. That's for sure. That migraine yesterday kind of killed things. Yesterday was going to be my painting day, and working a little bit last night on some challengers. That didn't quite happen. Kind of turned into me just either in bed or just sitting here staring at my screen, not really focusing on anything. Alright. So we'll see if the Trog is up. I still haven't made a decision as to whether or not I'm going to try him. I kind of want to see what his health is going to look like first, before I say, yeah, we're going to do it. Because I don't know if it would really be that wise to attempt it. I mean, some people are doing fine, still going after the rares at certain levels. I'm just being extra cautious about it. Alright. We got a staff. I think it's a staff. No, it's an offhand. Okay. That pain in the ass thing that keeps making it look like it's a staff, but it's the fake staff. Alright. So, almost back to where he's at, and we're about halfway now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, we're about 9.5 bars to go in this level. Alright, so usually it's really hard to catch the rare up back here because this section is very high traffic, because this is where, excuse me, they take you in when you're first coming into the zone and you're running around into here, and everybody's kind of forced to come back in through this way. Alright, so I am sort of in this bush, but not exactly. Yeah, I guess I am in the bush. Okay. That's fine. We're trying to be all stealthy camouflage, I guess. Alright, so let's keep trying to work our way over here. I'm really surprised he didn't pull there. I thought he was close enough. I was actually starting to be like, shit, he's gonna pull, but he didn't, so slight surprise there. Oh, you bastard. Did not remember them doing the kickback. Okay, he is actually up. Alright, so let's see here. Gonna have to clear out some room around him while we make up our minds if we're actually going to attempt him. He's got 500 health. He does pop a totem up that can kinda hurt. You bastard. But I think if we're quick enough with the dot on the totem, we might be able to take care of it fast enough where it's not too much of an issue. But we will see here. Okay, see, that guy went down without too much fuss. There's another one off to the side here. Need to deal with him. So we really don't want anything walking into us and causing more trouble. We do have Swift Mend that is off cooldown. So he's got a good 100 health more than us. Alright, this is probably not a wise idea, but we're gonna attempt this. And probably not going to be happy about attempting this, but he is hitting for a fair amount. Dick. Alright. So let's try to make sure that we're on top of these heals here. Got Swift Mend at the ready. We did kill him. Alright, wasn't too terrible. We did get 4,252. So we got him. It was a little nerve-wracking, but definitely got us a nice jump of XP there. Alright. So, let's see. So he was up. Let's see if the knoll is up. Not so sure he will be. But it won't hurt to see. And then we can make a decision from there on what we want to do. I'm running out of space again in my bag. Don't need that. I don't need that either. 'Cause I'm okay on cash right now. This one's about 96 gold, and that's fine. That'll cover beginning riding. And that's all we really need. I mean, yeah, the next step up of riding will be awesome, but we won't be able to get that for some time anyhow, if we survive that long. Alright. So, moving along here. Alright, let's see how bad these guys are gonna hit us from a normal knoll. I keep wanting to call these guys trogs, and I know they're not trogs. I know they're gnolls. But I really want to call him a trog. So that wasn't too bad. Alright. So you want to make sure that you have your nameplates on your challengers at the very least. Because sometimes these mobs can blend in where there's tall grass or short trees or some really tall bushes. Then you'll be walking into 3 intersecting each other and not even realizing it until it's too late. So it does actually help to have these nameplates on. Gives you a better idea of where these mobs are at. And there's going to be sirens here. Sorry. Again, busy road. Looked like it was an ambulance going by. Okay, so we are headed in this direction. And we're gonna see if this guy's up. I'm not sure he's gonna be. But we'll see. Should be on there. Okay. I was a little off my mark here. I was like, that looks like it's the right direction, but not exactly. Okay, I jumped the gun on the regrowth. It hadn't fully gone off yet. Okay, so he's one of the get up in your face guys. Alright, still, he wasn't too bad. He was alright. I usually approach these guys from a different angle. Should probably approach from the same angle that I've had success at. That way I can see where everybody is. See which direction they're patrolling in. Just make things a little bit easier. We need to deal with the bear. And that shouldn't be too bad. The bear's gonna attempt to hibernate. I wish all of these guys would drop something, even if it's not something that is a quest item. You know, a chipped tooth, some fur, something. Doesn't have to really even be worth anything. Be worth a copper. Doesn't matter. Just makes me sad that I can't actually loot anything off of it. My kill feels incomplete not looting it. Alright. Gonna keep on moving here. Oh, now see, he is up. I do see him. Can see him right here. Alright, so what's he got? He's got the same health as the other one. You're gonna patrol on by, that's fine. And we're gonna start to make our way into this camp here. Very carefully. Get some more heals going, get this guy pulled. I'm not sure quite. I think we can pull the guy by the cauldron and not pull the other one, I think. But at the same time, I want to make sure we've got plenty of room in case we have to run. So I might just pull the cauldron guy in the direction of the hill here, just to try to prevent him from doing something silly. Hopefully. Okay, good. I was afraid he was going to run around the cauldron, in which case could have triggered his friend, which would not have been good for us. Alright. Okay, so let's give this a go. It's probably not going to end well. Hopefully it goes okay. Get another regrowth going. Oh, he's healing himself too. That's fascinating. But I think we've got the upper hand with the dots. Yep. Alright, sweet. Okay, that wasn't so bad. He was actually better than that Trog was. Honestly. Okay. So, wow, yeah, we've got like a bar left here. So that was another nice chunk of change on that one. Still, it's really scary going after these rares now. Not knowing what they're gonna do. Especially considering I only have those 3 pieces of gear on, so that was actually pretty good considering the state of the gear. So let's get heals up. Cub might be a little more difficult because he does do a debuff. And I can't remember what the debuff does. I want to say it increases your damage taken, but I can't fully remember because it's been a while since I've killed him. Alright, so let's work on these guys here for a second. So we make our way down a little bit closer. He's gonna run, but he's not gonna get very far. I don't even know if Cub's up, or if I even want to attempt him if he is. Bear?
Yeah, I heard it.
Okay. So, you know what, he's gonna walk back, so we're gonna kill him. I wasn't gonna, but when he started walking back towards us, I kind of thought better of it. It's like, yeah, no, maybe we should just dispatch of him right now, instead of being sorry that we did not dispatch of him or deal with him. Alright. So we've got like half a bar to go. Those were two really big jumps there. Okay. Alright, so there's that. So we've got another normal little kobold in front of us. Let's go ahead and get this guy. This is one of those teleporting dudes who was gonna tunnel, even though he didn't tunnel. Okay, I don't see Cub up, so that's fine. As long as he doesn't spawn on top of me, that's good. He doesn't have to be up, it's not going to be the end of the world. So let us deal with this guy, who wants to be a wise guy, moving all over the place. And we'll get this one. I would attempt the guy in the cave normally, but since named mobs seem to be hitting a little bit harder now, or at least they were, he doesn't drop anything special, and he doesn't give any extra XP. He gives normal mob XP, or at least last time he did when I killed him before. So we're just gonna kind of leave him be. Don't need to kill him. I mean, it's not like we're doing the quest, so we'll just let him be to his own devices down there. We'll get this guy that's up here. Flaming arrow, no! Alright, and there's our ding. So there's 19 on the resto druid. That's in just the starting gear. Alright, so let's go ahead and hearth back. We'll get our slash blade on her. See, her slash blade is not very much. But then again, I was killing a good number of rares on her beforehand, so let's make that a little bit smaller. Okay, so this is going to be Bloodthirsty Bloomin' Soul, resto druid. Dings 19. Such an accomplishment. Slash played is 12 hours, 9 minutes, and 55 seconds. And total kills is going to be ridiculously low compared to some of the others. So you are at 939. Okay. So let's go ahead and we'll tweet that out. You were here. As you can see, we're still in the same 3 pieces of gear. Nothing has been equipped. Alright. So let's swap out to, who do we want to swap to? Let's see, let's hop back over to our other server. Doing lots of server hopping. So that's the other Night Elf Druid. Let's see, you're done, you're done. Got the priest who's out in Arathi. We've got the Iron Man who is in Arathi also. But we're not doing Iron Man tonight. We are doing Bloodthirsty. So, I guess we'll hop on the priest that we were working on before. We've got about an hour left of stream time tonight. And don't forget, guys, at least for the US servers, there seems to be a maintenance that's going to happen tomorrow morning for an hour. So don't be surprised if you get kicked if you are in, or if you can't log in right away. Because for some reason they seem to be doing another maintenance. It's only supposed to be for like an hour though. So don't get too upset. I'm not quite sure what's going on, but that seems to be going to happen tomorrow. Alright, come back, Mr. Raptor. And let's have a chat about these highlands that you are in. Now, again, I don't have much. She really doesn't have any XP going at all on this level. Was not expecting to have time to get her on stream tonight, so. But, I mean, we've got another hour, so we might as well. I feel kind of weird cutting it early on you guys. I also feel bad that I didn't have any work done on her already, but that's okay. I'm not sure if we're gonna attempt a rare on her or not. I mean, we could, but I don't know. The rares out here are kind of a little janky sometimes. Sometimes they hit really super hard. I'm not even sure if any are up right now. It's really hard to catch them up. Oh, you know what? We didn't redo our buffle thing. This priest did get fortitude back, so I can put that on myself there. And I'm also a little hesitant to try the rares at this level, not having Shadow Fiend to help me out if things start to go south. Don't get Shadow Fiend for a little bit yet, I think. I think that's in the 40s when that comes into play. Let me see here. Yeah, actually level 40 on the nose. I thought it used to be 40. Excuse me. Level 42. My goodness. But I guess that changed a little bit. Yeah, so Raptor's definitely not up. Because he's usually right here in this little corner of the world. So these guys feel a little bit better today. But that might be because I'm making sure that bubble is definitely in place and that it isn't falling. You know, we'll see. See how things go here. So I probably should hop on the Tin Man that we've got going at some point. So that way I don't forget how to play that character, because it's been some time since we've been on her. I did do some work on her away from recording time, so there are a couple missing levels on her that are not around. So I apologize, but it was getting to the point where getting the video uploaded was getting really cranky on the old internet. So I kind of gave up in the couple of weeks right before we had to go and move my dad. Just because we were so exhausted and things were just crazy, and fighting with the internet uploads overnight was getting silly. Because the one night I tried to upload and I think one of the cats stepped on the power button on the top of my computer tower and reset my system in the middle of the upload. The next night, I tried to upload the same video, and the internet hiccuped on us at some point while we were sleeping, and I was like, oh. I woke up expecting to see the video had loaded, and it wasn't, and I was like, huh? I was like, I've never been on this screen before after the video finishes, so what is all this? And surprise, it didn't finish. So, like, the third day in a row of trying to upload the same video, I was getting really cranky. I was like, you know what? It's like, you win, internet, you win. This video is just not gonna get uploaded. Because it was, I think, almost a full hour. And a full hour on the 10.1 was taking me about 5 to 6 hours to upload to YouTube, and it was terrible. It was always a crapshoot as to whether or not it was actually going to be finished uploading by the time my husband got up and needed the internet capacity, because a couple of weeks we were going to bed around 11 or midnight, and like, yeah, I don't know if that's gonna be done, but that's why I was trying to keep them really short and just get like the last little bit of the level in, and that way I could do like 2 or 3, like the last 15 minutes of each level. And like, okay, you know, we can stick 2 on a video if we just do that, and we can make it work. Alright. But it is good to be back streaming, because now I don't have to edit. Yay! Editing was also a really big problem for me, because it was hard to motivate myself to remember I needed to slap those couple of videos together. Husband would be like, don't you have to upload something tonight? Weren't you recording earlier today? And I'm like, oh yeah. Well, you see, I would be uploading, but I forgot to render that video and do all the editing and splicing the 2 together and cutting out the beginning parts. And so under normal circumstances, I would have had that ready to go. Or I'd have one half of the video ready and the other half not recorded yet. So it looks like they finally fixed the bird that was constantly stuck in the ground over here. I haven't seen him bobbing out of the ground since 8.0 came in. So that's good news, because I always felt so bad for that bird stuck halfway in the ground, because then he'd get kind of glitchy if you tried to kill him. So you couldn't even really put him out of his misery half the time. But these spiders are just a little too realistically colored for me. It's kind of creepy. Might have been going a smidge too far. Maybe. I don't know. I'm sure some people think it's awesome. And I do think it is awesome to a degree. It's just, I am not a spider person. I am not a bug person. It's just a little too much. It's like, no! Get away! You need to collect up all of the spiders and drop them in the fire at the world tree. And all of the spiders can burn in the fire. Alright. So, Disc Priest is fairly decent right now. For some reason they took Plea away, and I'm not quite sure why. I don't even remember seeing anything about them taking it away, but it is in fact missing. It is not in the spellbook anywhere. And, excuse me. It's been a long day. I don't understand why. I mean, we've got Shadow Mend, which can heal somebody or yourself for a certain amount, but then it will also do a certain amount of damage as well. Unless you're out of combat. So that seemed kind of strange. I mean, not that Plea did all that much, it was kind of lackluster, but it was an instant cast bam for, you know, enough to hold you until you could get something else, or you could cast Shadow Mend and then spam the Plea to make up for the damage that Shadow Mend was doing. But yeah, now we get Shadow Mend and Penance. And Penance does double duty as a DPS spell as well. And I don't know if it's because we're supposed to be healing through atonements. I don't know. It just feels like they're stripping it bare. Kinda. I mean, we did get Holy Nova back, which was nice. I did miss that. This really didn't have a damage AoE, which was sad because they had taken Mind Seer away and given that just to Shadow Priests. And they had taken Holy Nova away, and I'm like, so we can't do any AoE damage now. Okay. It's like, that's a little difficult. I mean, I could see why they did it, so you're not sitting there in a large group and you get Atonement going and then you just sit there and blast Mind Seer. But it kind of also made us feel extremely vulnerable on, you know, normal character situations where you're out doing world quests and you jump into a huge thing where there's a whole bunch of mobs going down at the same time and you feel kind of useless because you're stuck single targeting and everyone else around you has like AoE damage capabilities and you're just like, yeah, okay. Like, I have an AoE heal that has a cooldown on it. I got that. So, I don't know. It just felt weird. It still feels kind of weird. I mean, we got the bubble back. Well, I mean, we had the bubble. But we got it back to where Forbearance isn't being cast from it. And we can spam it again. But it's not quite as strong as it used to be. So I guess that's the trade-off for having it being spammable again, which I guess is okay. You just have to get back into the rhythm of how much damage it's gonna take before it drops off, which when I first hopped on after the patch dropped, it felt like it was hardly anything at all. It felt very short on the absorbing. And we're gonna have a second raptor here. Shit. So, okay, we got this. Okay, so that wasn't so bad. Another one died fairly quickly. I saw him come up out of the corner of my eye. I'm like, yep, we are way too close. We are gonna be in just enough range to make that one angry. You know, we were coming over that hill and I was like thinking I wasn't quite in the right spot and I thought I was missing another raptor. It's like something felt a little off. There should be another raptor here. I don't know why I'm not seeing him. Surprise! Okay. So let's see. Let's grab this guy out here. So we're 2 bars in already. That's not too bad, considering how much XP we're getting. We're getting 424, roughly. So that's not so bad, considering you couldn't even see the blue on the bar when we started. Like I said, you know, this challenge is not for someone that needs to level quickly. You're going to be putting time in on this one. In one way or another, you're going to have to put the time in. I mean, some people strictly only hunt rares on their Bloodthirsty, and If you feel confident enough in your character's abilities to do that, then cool. Oh shit, spider's up. That spider looks so creepy now. He looks absolutely terrifying. I'm not sure if we're gonna go after him or not. I gotta see how much health he has. Some of these guys, we definitely have to make sure that we've got room here in case we need to scream and run. So make sure that we've got a plan, some description in place here. So that one gave us 380. Okay. I think I can pull you. Pulling that gray one in front of the green one might be a little bit difficult. Definitely have to wait till he walks away. Okay. And this one's gonna take forever to actually drop. Alright, how much? Oh. Oh. So you've got 2,336 to my 1,432. So you've got about 900 and some odd more health than me. I don't know. I'm not sure if he's worth it. We gotta think about this for a minute, guys. I mean, if things don't go well, you know, it's gonna mean a character creation screen. So I'm just not sure. I mean, we have Scream, we've got Desperate Prayer. Well, Desperate Prayer is not that good, but I just don't know. So it's a good 1,000. Well, maybe it's closer to 1,000 and not 900. What should we do? What should we do with the drunken spider? This is probably a really bad idea. But I guess we're gonna go for it. I'd feel better if I had Shadow Fiend, but let's see if they fixed his bug where you can't loot him. So far, so good. Okay, so we should be able to finish him off without too much trouble. Okay, wow, 7,402, and we were able to loot him. Very nice. Okay, so that was a nice little jump there. I was really nervous because I didn't know what to expect from him, but he was pretty tame. All things considered, he was really only hitting us with a poison. So, I mean, either the bubble was blocking a lot of it, or he was just pretty much straightforward at this level. So that worked out. So that was what, almost a bar of XP there. So I didn't actually get a good look at where we were before we killed him. Okay, so let's grab the spider. Might as well, right? Okay. And then we'll head over towards the fire elementals as we continue our tour. of Arathi here. I'm gonna make sure we don't get too close to the horde outpost here on the other side of the road. But that would not end well for us. Pretty much guarantee that. We do not want to get PvP flagged, because our ass will get smushed rather quickly. And we'll see what we can do. And we have killed some of the fire elementals before, and we've been okay. So I'm not expecting too much trouble from them. Kinda want that spider, but I kinda don't want to get too close there either. Cause... okay, why is this campfire still up in the air? There's a couple of weird placement things out here. When I first saw this campfire, I thought a player had dropped it and it laid weird. And I was like, okay, well, it's probably gonna go away when the timer comes down off of it. But it's still there a week later, so something odd is going on with this campfire. So it does not look like the ogre is up. I'm not too sure I'd want to deal with him. He's usually in there. But in the meantime, we can finish going after these guys. Now, sometimes there are a couple of rares in these farms here to my left. However, that is the land of stealthy things. So the only time I'm ever really willing to go in there is if I'm on a hunter. I'm certainly not going to do it on a clothy, because I really don't want to get smushed into the ground. Because things can take a turn over there really super quick. You'd be surprised how quickly things can go downhill in either one of those farms. Whether it's this one here or the other one down the road where the courier is. Okay, that guy felt like he took entirely way too long to kill. Not quite sure why he felt like he was taking forever. But he definitely did. Alright. So, slowly getting there, slowly making progress. And it definitely pays to be rested to some degree for the Bloodthirsty challenge. Rested is allowed because you kind of can't avoid it. So it's gonna happen when you log out, no matter where you log out to some degree. If you log out in a city or an inn, it's gonna accumulate a little bit faster than if you log out in the wild. But it's also safer to log out in a city or inn. Like 99.9% of the time. Okay, so you're gonna stay over there. We're gonna come up here because these elementals feel like they're just being a little bit tough. And some of the mobs do feel a little bit easier to kill than others. So we'll see how that goes. I'm not quite sure why. I don't know if that's like an armor rating issue or just some abilities that that particular mob might have. Don't know. All I know is that some feel a lot easier to kill than others. So there's that horde outpost that we want to be careful of. We don't want to get too close to that. Now, normally I would jet across the street there near the outpost. But I'm looking at the time and I want to check on 2 more rares out of curiosity before we call it a night. So we might just kill our way towards them instead for the time being. So we'll see what we can do here, because I mean there's a lot of, well, there's not a lot, there's a good number of things between us and where I kind of want to go next. So let's see what we can do. Alright, let's grab you. So I mean it's not bad for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're 5 bars in about a half an hour. That's not so bad. I mean, we did kill a rare though, so that did help a little bit. Gave us that 7,000 XP jump. So we'll see. I want to see if the bird is up, and if so, what his health looks like. And sorry, I got distracted because I did not remember that door facing in that direction. So I was like, what direction am I facing in? Because it looks like that door is open directly to me. I didn't remember that being on an angle. It's just the way things were setting themselves up to look like. Okay. So mana's been pretty good. Haven't really had to stop to drink too much on this one. So that's a good thing. Definitely not mana starved. At least not right now. On our team's character with Zort's, that priest was starting to churn through the mana in the one section where we were taking a lot of damage. But I was also attempting a lot of healing, so I mean that's kind of expected, sort of. But it was definitely had to drink on that one. And I think that was the first time I had to drink was after 8.0 dropped on her. That particular section was pretty nasty. With those Alkin, hopefully they've got that toned down a little bit. Alright, so there's 2 mobs I want to check on right here. And one is the bird. And the other is, I think it's either a stone spider or it's a stone crab. I'm not sure which it is. I don't remember. Okay, so let's see. We're gonna have to kill a couple of things in here so that we can get close enough to see if the bird is up. I don't think he is, but he could have been on the other side of the tree. So let's see here. There's some buzzards that are kind of phasing in and out. Alright, let's get you. I don't have to kill you because you're yellow. But you might give me a small egg that I can sell on auction house, so that would be helpful. Plus, you have delicious XP, which is admittedly more helpful. Oh, okay, he is up. Wow, he's got more health than the spider, and I bet you this warlock's gonna try to get him. He's got a lot more health than the spider. So this, oh wait, no he doesn't. No he doesn't, I'm sorry. The spider was 2,000. That's right. I'm confused. Yeah, they're gonna pull him. Pretty sure. If they didn't already. Okay, well, I don't know if they didn't pull him or the pull didn't go well and they abandoned the pull. Okay, our dots dropped. We need to put that back up. We need to put our bubble back up. Alright, we should be able to... Alright, so there's that. Nice. Okay, so we got another 7,000 XP there. Oh, I don't know what that looks like. Okay. Okay, so they're just kind of normal male pants there. Alright. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're almost at a full 7. Alright, so the other rare, when it's up, is over here. I don't see him up. He's like in this pillar. I'm not sure if I'm just not close enough or if he's not up yet, so we need to get a better angle on this guy. Alright. Let's see here, Mr. Rock Dude. I mean, the reskin on these guys looks kind of cool. No, he's not up. He kind of hangs out in that one little Stonehenge area. Like I said, I can't remember if he's a spider or a crab, but whatever he was made out of stone. And he kind of hangs out in that little section right there. But yeah, he's not there, so that's fine. Just go ahead and grab one more of these. And I'm getting super tired today, so I think we might cut it a few minutes early. That, and I feel like I'm starting to lose my voice, and this is just the beginning of stream week, so we've got a lot more days to stream. So we need the voice to go a lot longer later in the week. Oh, what are you doing, sir? Sir or madam, I don't know what you're doing, but I don't want any parts of it. So we're gonna let that leash back. So we certainly don't want to get tangled up in it. Come on, come on. There we go. Got stuck on the hill. Oh, another hill we got stuck on. So, I mean, that's not bad. We got 2 rares out here, which I was really afraid to tackle, but they seemed okay. Which was a little surprising after hearing some of the stories of some people's characters just getting totally mutilated by some of the rares. So maybe the band-aids that they put in place are helping. But we didn't die, so that was good. We're gonna come over here and vendor. So don't forget that every Saturday on Twitch here, on the WoW Challenges channel, they do their live podcast that they record at 7 p.m. Eastern on the Saturdays. And every week there's usually a guest from the community on. I'm not sure who's going to be on this week, if they're going to have one. There was a scheduling issue, so don't know if they're actually going to have one or not. There will be a show, I just don't know if there's going to be a guest. So again, that's Saturday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern on Twitch for the live show. You can find me on Twitter at NiseyBGN, NiseyBGN. And you can also find me in the WoW Challenges Discord. I'm one of the chat mods over there, and I'm just Nisey, Nise, in the WoW Challenges Discord. Alright, you all, you be careful out there. Stay safe. Good luck in your leveling attempts. Don't forget to have fun out there. You know, it is just a game. And, you know, try to enjoy yourselves. And good luck in all of your pre-expansion events and everything that you attempt to do. And I will see you guys tomorrow in some way, shape, or form. I don't know if it's going to be on this channel or if it's going to be on Zortz's channel. If I'm on Zortz's channel, then I should be hosting over to mine. But we'll do a tweet ahead of time and we'll get stuff sorted out. So have a good night. And take care and good luck out there.